Shout out to the Green Tea team. Good to have you all back in here. Today I was on the Mike Martin's Commonwealth for Common Folks, episode 4. This is he had me on his show. It's a great show. He's sharing knowledge. He's looking at the economic housing crisis in the Commonwealth. He's speaking truth. He's putting in a lot of work. Please like and subscribe to his channel. And here's the chat I had on his show today.
So we got Green Tea, Freedom and Truth, shout out from New Zealand. Don't forget to check out his YouTube channel, Green Tea Freedom. I was on there today watching one of his videos. Oh, we got Tristan messaging me. Let's see if he's available. This is Green Tea. Yo, Tristan, what's up, buddy?
Instagram if you
just finished work for the day. Just listening to your live stream.
Oh, yeah, I saw you message me. I said, I'm going to give him a call. We're just talking markets, housing, all kinds of stuff. Listen, I just want to send a big congratulations to you because apparently your great leader, Jacinta Ardern, has notified the world that New Zealand is now officially virus-free.
The all-knowing leader, she must have information that as common folk, the Commonwealth common folk do not know.
Mm-hmm.
She
announced that yesterday, and I was shocked. Like, what? I think it was the day before yesterday, your time, because we are like a day behind you. And I was shocked. Like, is it because the inauguration speech and it was confirmed that Trump was out, that they could go ahead and move forward with virus-free, or what?
Yeah, I think having Sleepy Joe being the new president means that the virus can be the vaccines can be rolled out and the virus can go away.
That's
in a wave of socialism and possible communism.
I have some good news, actually. In Canada, we're actually going into red alert lockdowns. Each province is getting locked down, and there's no inter-movement between provinces, and they're really locking it down hard here with the 3 people that died in the last 4 months. And so what's happened with that is I think Canada wants to call an early election so they could do the mail-in ballots shenanigans that they did in the United States, and they want to pull the same thing again.
Yeah. The mail-in ballots, the most insecure way to vote known to man. And I was watching on Rebel News yesterday when I was out for my hike that the police were cracking down on the Yahoo Nation protest. I saw they were arresting a few folks that normally had been allowed to protest freely.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you watch the last Mike in the Night? The first guest, Eduardo, who basically gave us that footage of that big rally in downtown Toronto where they end up taking a woman, 2 speakers, and they stole his generator.
Oh wow! Yeah. No, I missed the start of that one. I enjoyed the one you had with Tony on.
Yeah, God Rules.
God Rules. Yeah, that rocked. Yeah. Yeah,
he's a really good guy. We're all like-minded. That's why we're talking to each other. You know what I'm saying? We all talk to each other because we're all in the same way like-minded, and like-minded people kind of, how you say, think alike and kind of gravitate towards each other, right?
Yeah. Birds of a feather and all that type of thing.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, I just had a few stats on the New Zealand unemployment rates and that type of thing, if that's of any interest.
Yeah, please.
So the New Zealand unemployment rate is currently at 5.3%, which is fairly low. But they did a survey this week, and they interviewed thousands of people, and 50% of all Kiwi workers had stress around reduced hours and employment security. So the unemployment numbers are quite low, but there's a lot of people on reduced hours, a lot of people working, like doing extra hours for free just to keep businesses going and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
I have some fantastic news. Your neighbors northwest of you in Australia, their unemployment rate's only at 5% now. They said everyone's back at work.
Yeah, that's almost unbelievable.
It is. I just read the article. It was front and center in the ABC, always broadcasting crap.
Yeah. Always broadcasting crap, and I like your 10 push-up gates. That's I like that saying.
Well, can I ask you? Let me ask you. This is just opinion based on your opinion. Do you think Bill Gates could do 10 push-ups for real?
I think 5 would be a stretch.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, we're just trying to figure this out. Maybe we can get word to him and ask him if he could do 10 push-ups on camera for us, because he is the self-appointed health minister of the planet, right?
Yeah. He wears a sweater and he wears glasses, so he's trustworthy.
I don't think I've seen that guy without a sweater in my life.
Yeah, it's part of the image. You got to keep the image going.
Yeah, for like 50 years.
Yes, he's looked the same for the last 30 years. He hasn't changed much.
Guys, here is Green Tea Freedom and Truth channel. I'm going to give you guys the link in the comment section. And I would like for everyone to go there and subscribe to his channel. He put up a video up today that was actually really good. I actually saw it, and I think I commented on it, didn't I? Yeah, I did. You
commented. It was about the Declaration of Independence, that document, the Republic.
There it is right there, yeah. Yeah, I commented on that one today. So there it is from today's. I want everyone to go there and subscribe. He's at 332 subs. There's enough people watching this on replay to get him to 500. So go there and please subscribe to him, because he actually he's actually one of us. So we're all like-minded. We believe in we just have more conservative values, and we believe that you reap what you sow. You get back with what you put in, right? If you don't want to put in, then that's your problem, right?
Yeah, exactly. And the freedom of speech and the freedom of expression, it cuts both ways. It allows people who want to follow the communist contact tracing, all of these things, it allows them to do that, just as it allows us to go about our lives freely. And choose not to do those things. Yeah, just back to that unemployment thing, like they were saying that a lot of workers they're still in work, but their hours and income are reduced. So the unemployment figures don't look as bad, but the income the workers are getting is reduced.
Oh, you know what this reminds me of? When Canada, just before our federal election, Canada created 40,000 jobs, and then they forgot in the fine print at the bottom to mention, well, they mentioned it, but they kind of didn't mention it. But if you read through it and kind of symbolically understood what it's trying to say, it actually meant government jobs, not private sector jobs.
There we go. Yeah.
40,000 jobs in Canada. Yeah, but that's the public sector. Nobody cares about public sector jobs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And they have this thing, some places like 0-hour contracts, where you can be on a contract and have no guaranteed hours. So you're effectively employed, but how much work you're doing is, it could be 3 hours a week or 8 hours a week or something, but you are still considered to be employed, but you're really not.
I know a guy that was working 4 hours a month because they weren't allowed to fire him, so they had to legally schedule him for 4 hours a month, and he was considered employed.
An hour a week.
Yeah. Guys, there's the link there for his channel. Steve the Plumber was asking for the link. There's the link right there, guys. Everybody get over there and subscribe to Green Tea Freedom and Truth so you guys can get angles. You guys need to know what's happening in New Zealand, because you're probably wondering, Mike, what do I care? I live in Canada. Well, you better care, because usually New Zealand and Australia and Canada are fighting over each other to see how they could screw over their citizens the best or faster. So if New Zealand comes in and says, we're going to raise taxes 3%, and then Australia says, we're going to do 5%, screw you, New Zealand, and then Canada says, we're going to do 8%. And
that's it.
And that's how the song plays, right? So
yeah. And like when I was on last week, we talked about that New Zealand does have a type of foreign buyers tax that has come in 2018.
Right.
But it has more holes than a sieve. It's you have to be a resident, but it's easy to become a resident. So the government has made like moves to try and stop the foreign buyers flooding the market, but I don't think it's done any good.
You guys there in Auckland and in some of your bigger cities there have completely empty condo towers there. And
yeah, I've heard you mention that.
And it's same thing in New York, same thing in Vancouver. Like Tower, I lived in Vancouver and at Stadium. I used to live at Stadium in downtown Vancouver. That's where my big business was back in the day, my big store. And when I was down there at Stadium, I could tell you that there was like 9 people living in a 400 unit or 380 unit tower.
Oh, wow. Well, invite the friends and family over.
Well, it's all empty. The units are empty, so the concierge would get some keys that he had and go through some of the apartments and show me empty apartments that still have the plastic on the microwave and on the counters from the builder.
Yeah, crazy.
Yep. And there's all these homeless people on the street.
Yeah. And you were saying how the Chinese leverage take second and third mortgages and buy in the Commonwealth countries where they can get in, and I know they can get in here. What do they do with those properties? Are they renting them?
No, majority of them are left empty. The reason why they're doing this, that's why they're putting the vacant home tax here in major Canadian cities, is because they just want to get they want capital flight. They want to get whatever they could leverage out or what they could muscle out of China. Because I wouldn't want to keep my money in China myself. If I was Chinese and I had my money in a Chinese bank account and my president or whatever that guy is there declares themselves emperor of China, like he did 3 years ago or 2 years ago, I don't want to keep my money in that country myself. But then what happens is it puts a burden on our countries, because then we're bought out of our own markets. It creates artificial shortages and it makes homeowners wealthy on paper. But then the locals are just out. The locals, if they're not in, then they're screwed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I know. I'm a local in that position. Yeah. And do you know that some of the housing things in Saudi Arabia?
No, what's going on? I know this is kind of bizarre. I know I covered this morning, but I know in India, China has been building cities and towns, like ghost cities and towns, inside India's border and claiming it's part of China. I'm not making this up. I covered it from a gentleman who watches me who lives in India, and he sent me the link, and I couldn't believe what I was reading, and it was real.
Yeah, I can fully believe it. Mm-hmm. Just recently, I worked with a Scottish guy who was living in Dubai. He was living in Dubai. Mm-hmm. His father immigrated from Scotland to Dubai. He was an engineer, and he had moved over there when he was 8. And he's now in his late 20s. Over there, you can't buy a property. And when my friend finished school, he had 30 days. He had been there since he was 8. He had 30 days when he finished school to either study again at a uni or get a job, or he had to leave the country. Mm-hmm. His father's in the same boat. He's been working there for 20-something years. If his job stops, he's got 30 days. I think maybe they can extend it to 60 to either sort something out, or you have to bounce. They look after their own people, like compared to how it is in our countries.
Oh, no. Our countries, they don't know. Like for example, if you go to Mexico, and you want to buy a nice property there for, let's say, $30,000, they won't touch you because you're a foreigner. In Mexico, I tried to buy in Mexico two times, two different states, 2 times in Mexico. I was there for 2 years. They wouldn't touch me. They laughed at me, saying, "You're a foreigner. We can't sell to you."
Yeah. They look after their people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And same in Dubai. They were, even though his younger brother had been born in Dubai. Mm-hmm. Who was a bit younger. His younger brother was just coming towards the end of high school. He'd lived there his whole life, born and bred, and he was coming up to the 30 days of either continue study, get a job, or you're going back to Scotland where they're from. And I was like, man, they really look after their. You imagine having that in like the States or Canada, we'd be considered racist or whatever.
Yeah, well, in other countries, yeah, because they're just dismantling the threads that assembled the pillars that built these Western countries. They're just taking it apart piece by piece. Now, you know, our friend Sleepy Joe or Creepy Joe, you know, he's going to go ahead and start going after the guns now, right? And you know what's going to happen, just like New Zealand when they got rid of the guns, just like Australia when they got rid of the guns, and they just start becoming more and more tyrannical.
Yeah, exactly. And you look at, like, I look at the Canadian guys and the Kiwi guys, like the Kiwi guys that tend to be rugby guys, tough guys. The Canadian guys, a lot of them ice hockey, fighting and this sort of thing. And then it's complete compliance and like rollover when this sort of thing comes in. And, you know, Sleepy Joe, if he was like a senior guy at a rest home, like maybe, you know, managing a cards night or a, you know, drinks on a Friday night, that's where his level really should be, rather than the leader of the free world.
Yeah, I actually agree with you wholeheartedly, 1,000,000,000% on that. So yeah, we'll see what happens with Creepy Joe. Yeah, you know, he got that name Creepy Joe because remember he used to go around people sniffing them.
Yeah, all handsy and sniffing kids and girls and stuff. Like I've got a daughter and I've got a granddaughter, and yeah.
Wow, you have a granddaughter?
Sure do. I got a little 3-year-old granddaughter.
Good for you. Congratulations.
Thanks, brother. Yeah.
Good for you. All right. Tia, I'm going to let you go. Guys, this is Green Tea for Green Tea, Freedom, and Truth. I'll give you another link here to his channel. Please go over there and subscribe and be part of the channel. And he's got a lot of good information he puts up that is basically going to help you or help us understand what's happening across the board. Thanks, Tristan.
Keep up the good work, brother.
Thank you. Bye.
God bless.
God bless. That is Tristan out of New Zealand.